The name change they wanted was something that was completely original and more them than ever. They really wanted to step things up in a big way this time and figured they needed a band name that would encapsulate that. They spent months trying to figure out the best name for them, and NIGHTBREAKERS ended up as the winner. They felt like that name fit all of them and their new style very well. Now that they are all happy with their new name, they are super excited to start showing everyone all of the new things they've been working on over the past year.
My name is Zach and I sing in the band IOH. So when we were thinking about our names when we first started this band, we were, trying to find who inspired us and, figure out who we were as a band. Over time we ended up settling on Infinity on High. And then a couple years passed and we decided, Infinity on High was inspired by a Fall Out Boy album of the same name, but we wanted to kind of think of something that was us and our own. All of our supporters had always just called us IOH because it was simple and it was catchy and they could just, chant it at shows. So when that kind of started to stick in our heads, we kind of loved the way that felt to hear IOH. So we said, why don't we just be IOH? So that's kind of how the name came about. It started with a Fall Out Boy inspiration and it kind of evolved into something that was our own.
Hi, I'm David. I play guitar in the band IOH.
I'm Spencer and I play the bass for that same band.
For us, the big inspiration was that, we listened to a lot of the same bands, which is the 1975 and stuff. And listening to those bands and the vibes they give off, that's just something we wanted to create. Also do something that's, original to us.
And also seeing huge crowds from bigger bands really inspired me to want to be in front of those huge crowds.
What up, I'm Dan and I play guitar.
What up, I'm Logan and I play drums.
So our first gig as a full band like this lineup was in Berg's Live in I think 2017, and it was actually a competition to play 97X Backyard Barbecue.
Yeah, I was really scared because it was my first time playing with them, and I was really scared that if we didn't win, they'd kick me out.
So our fans are a huge part of what we do. We don't even like to say the word fans, we like to say the word supporters, because honestly, fans has such a connotation where it gives off a bad vibe, but when you say supporters, it really hits home because it's your family's your supporters, your closest friends are your supporters, those people who wait in line for hours on end to come see you play, those are your supporters, and I just feel like that helps everyone kind of become a family, and that's kind of what we love to accomplish with our music. We want to build a family, we want to have this huge focus around the music and what we do. So
I say one moment I'm very proud of is when we were able to go on tour for the first time around last year. It was a different kind of experience, different kind of way to actually play shows.
My first practice with the band was in November of 2016, I think, either 2016 or 17, and I was really nervous. At the time I only came to audition with 2 songs, and it wasn't really an audition, it was just hey, come jam with us.
So the first time that we ever heard ourselves on the radio, it was actually 97X. They do this thing called Local Motion, and we were sitting by the pool. It was probably the summer of 16 or something like that, and all of a sudden, one of our friends texted us and they're like, hey, did you guys submit to be on the radio? And we were like, yeah, why? They're like, because you're about to play. And we ran to my car, we turned on the radio, and we were like, no way. And it was just the coolest thing, because even though it was on a local level, it was still us being on the airways, it was us being exposed to, the masses for the first time, other than just playing shows.
Dan called me up, wanted to know if I can come jam with them. I'm like, sure, why not? And there was, cameras everywhere, and I was really intimidated, but somehow I got through it.
I had, friends and family in the area texting me hey, you guys are in the radio right now, and I'm like, I didn't even know that we had submitted for this, because Zach had done it and I didn't even know about it. And I was like, this is really cool actually, so it's definitely a really cool experience.
So as Spencer mentioned, we went on our first tour last year, and we finally got to play our songs in different states. We went to Nashville, Georgia. It was just awesome to finally, start breaking out of the Florida market. We love our home base, we love to, play shows here, but it was cool to start spreading the word. It was cool to be in the van for, hours and hours and hours, just, really getting to know each other. It was a really cool experience.
It was a lot of fun because we did other stuff besides just tour. Actually on our first tour we ended up going to the Smoky Mountains just because it was on the way to Nashville, and we ended up hiking that day. So we were doing stuff on the side as well, and it was the first time as a group we got to do that together. Yeah, it was
really cool. We ended up finding Bigfoot in the mountains also.
We did find Bigfoot.
We did find Bigfoot.
That was a cool experience.
Bigfoot.
Band expedition.
He wears size 11.
Basically, we're just trying to take all of our favorite music and mesh it into something that is completely our own, something that people, it's familiar but different. So we're really, really excited to get it out there and see what people think of it.